Alright, so we've got a wet room, and I've noticed over the past few days there's a bit of a smell and the water's not running away as it should do. So sort of standard drain in a wet room, there's 2 screws. I just need a little screwdriver. I've already unscrewed these and take them right out, put them somewhere safe, and then with your screwdriver just lever up around the edges and it pulls away. I've already had a bit of a clean already, and then in here you'll see like a sort of catch pot filter. Take that out. I've given that a clean already, but take it from me, that was absolutely filthy, and it's only been in 6 months. Down there, I don't know if you can see it where I'm pointing my finger, there's a hole. Give that a clean out and a wipe out as well. But the reason the water stopped flowing away is when the water runs down through here, these gaps here, when it's screwed back in, water runs in all these gaps there away. Anything that's fallen off like hair and that runs away with it there. And what seems to happen, if you can see in there, is it gets clogged up with hair and soap and all sorts, and then it starts blocking off, and that's why your water doesn't run away, and that's why it starts smelling. Anyway, I've pulled this out and I had a look. If you look right at the bottom, you can see a shiny thing. That is a nut, a bolt, and that is a size 10, and to remove that and clean this properly you need to remove that bolt. So you need a 10mm socket and a ratchet, and literally undo the thing. Unless you take this off, you won't be able to clean it properly and get all the muck and that out. I've had a poke around with a screwdriver and I just can't get all the muck out, so it just, and initially I couldn't see the bolt at the bottom because it was obscured with soap. Socket's probably a little bit heavy duty for this, but as long as you've got a 10mm socket. Right, so there you go, look, I've undone it, and you can see the hair, and it's just normal stuff that's been washed through a shower, especially if you've got girls and things, the amount of hair that comes out. So what you do, with as disgusting it is, remove this, clean it, a little bit of bleach, and it'll come up like that, and give that a good clean and reassemble, and just screw the bolt back in with that, and that will solve your blocked wet room drainage. I hope it's of use to somebody. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so we've got the wet room shower drainage components apart. You've seen all the muck in there, so I'm going to just pull off what I can. In fact, that can go in the toilet. It's next to me. Right, I'm just going to squirt a little bit of bleach in the bowl. Doesn't need to be loads. That's the top. Just give it a good old clean. Get all rid of the soap scum. And that's come up quite well, really. I mean, I reckon, in hindsight, this has been in 6 months. Obviously push your cloth down there. I guess if you're really safety conscious, some goggles with the bleach, but it's up to you.
Some gloves as well,
you
probably.
know, I haven't got a lot of bleach in here, and I'm only using household bleach. I mean, I've just put, as you saw before, just a titsy little squirt in there.
I mean, it doesn't have to be immaculate, does it? It just needs to be cleaned of all
yeah,
the
it needs to be clean,
things.
because before I could smell something in the wet room, and I was thinking, what on earth is that?
So how often do you think you...
Well, I reckon once a month, really.
Yeah, but obviously be careful taking the screws out and the bolt.
Put them somewhere safe.
You don't want to
I did have a real good wipe round here as well. When I did it round this rim, and I had a good wipe round in there, and in there, and at the bottom there, and I have put a little bit of bleach in the bottom there, just a and in that hole there that drain, just to make it smell a bit nicer. So basically that's it, that's cleaned up, and I now need to reassemble this. So if you remember the last video, I had a 10mm socket.
Where's that on there? Just 10mm on the side?
Yeah.
10mm, yeah.
So the easiest way is just to pop the bolt in there, I guess.
Put it through and then...
Put it through there.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, some of that will wash away anyway. Position it back there. And just initially, just do it. It doesn't need to be tight.
I mean, this only really needs to be hand tight, don't it? It doesn't need to be.
Yeah. What you don't want is any of that.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be able to pull it off from the filter.
Yeah, and you don't want the plastic cracking either.
No. So don't over tighten it. It's not on a car or anything. Basically, when it's stopped, if you can't see, still jiggle that, so it's tightening up a bit more. I know that's probably common sense, but right. So
that's done. Isn't it?
Stops. As soon as it stops doing it, it's tight. You can see it's tight.
Yeah.
So just give that a rinse out again. That's the. That looks like it's supposed to catch most of the stuff that flows through there.
Yeah, stop your drain from getting blocked.
Obviously, if you've got lumps of hair and soap, it's going to get stuck in there, and then the water can't flow away anyway. Right, so that goes back in there like that. Cup in the middle. That's probably not the right name for it. There's your 2 screw holes.
Either
there.
side.
You see 1, 2. So I'm just going to try and line that up with that, push it down.
And obviously use the right screwdriver for this as well.
Yeah, right, so it's a flathead screwdriver. Yeah, and just take your time with it. And before I took this apart and cleaned it, the water wasn't running away that well. Now you know you've got the screws in tight enough because they're slightly recessed.
Yeah.
I mean really, they could have done with a
bit of clean, couldn't they?
Clean, but I guess that's... To be honest, we weren't told about maintaining this. I know it's obvious, but you'd think that things would flow away and they'd make the filter at the top big enough to take hair and stuff away.
Yeah.
But
they just need to be hand tight, don't they?
Yeah, and that's all I've done there. I've given it a bit of a screws of white, make it look pretty. And that's really it. So that's that done. There. What I'm going to do is just check that it flows. Like I say, before it wasn't flowing or hardly flowing, which is a problem. And it's literally just hair. So if you've got hair, I mean, turn that off and see that flowing. You see that flows. Let's do that again. Got a bit of water on there. I mean, if you've got hair that's blocking half of the filter up, so it's not flowing away, that means the water is going to potentially spread out. So let's turn that off.
So that was job done.
Yeah, that's flowing away now, and it smells better in here because when I originally took the cover off, it had that horrible, I don't know, smelly sink smell in here. It's not very good for a bathroom, especially visitors coming around. Anyway, hope that helps. Somebody with a blocked shower room drain, sort it out, because really it's cheap. Needs a screwdriver, some bleach, a bucket cloth, a socket, and a 10mm socket at the end, and that's it. And job done.